So my mom was in a car accident when she was, how old?
About 2021.
2021, and she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and she had an experience. Go ahead, you can tell them about your experience with the accident.
So basically I was on my way to school, beauty school at the time, and I was driving. I didn't have my seatbelt on. I was going around 60, 65, and a car was making a left-hand turn. She did not yield, and I was going straight through, and I hit her. I got T-boned her. My face almost went through the windshield. You could see my eyes, my nose, and my mouth in the windshield after the accident. My steering wheel were down by my knees, and they almost had to cut me out of the car. Anyways, what I remember from that experience is I died. My spirit came out of my body, and I was up there looking down at myself. I was in an ambulance, and I remember I had white clothes on because I had my uniform for school, and the guy was cutting my pants off of me. And as I was up there, it was so peaceful. It was very, very surreal. It was almost like you're part of the universe. It's like you are part of the wind. Very light, airy, and I remember thinking, I didn't realize that my body was in so much pain down here. Like just your back hurting, your knees hurting, your hands hurting. You're very, very light, and you're very, very, like, it's just almost like it's just your spirit's free. You're home whenever you get there. It's home, and it's absolutely amazing. I just can't even describe it. I just remember thinking, I don't ever want to come down here again, because that's my home. No matter what happens in your life, that's home.
So last night they were at the beach, and my sister's friend and my mom were in deep conversation, and they were talking about God and about how it changed my sister's friend's life, and how they definitely believe, like, no doubt in their mind anymore, and it's just an incredible thing. And then my stepsister was swimming, and she just happened to come out, and she was standing next to them, but she wasn't talking or anything. She was just kind of listening, and she started, like, they all started, like, crying because I guess Lisa had asked, my stepsister had asked, you know, for a sign to believe, because some people just need proof that it's real, and that, you know, and that was their sign, right?
So we're at the beach, and me and my daughter and her friend we're in a deep conversation. My daughter's friend was explaining about how that had changed her life, because she wasn't sure if there was a God. Like, her parents were religious, and they took her to church every day as a child, but she wasn't positive. Like, she didn't have that feeling like some people have. And she goes, and whenever I told her that story, it changed her on the inside. It just did something to her. And she thanked me for that. She gave me a huge hug. And as we're having this conversation, my stepdaughter happened to walk in from the ocean, because we're at the beach right now. But she was out in the ocean. She said that she was talking to God, saying, please give me a sign, because she was doubting as well. She wasn't sure if there was a God. She said she just looked up in the sky, and she said, please give me a sign. And just at that moment, she walked in on our conversation, and we were still talking between, you know, the three of us, and then noticed her there, and Tristan's friend said, oh, we're so sorry, we're in this really deep conversation, we're talking about God. And she asked, you know, what we're talking about and stuff, when I told her that story. And then Tristan's friend was telling her story and stuff, and my stepdaughter was like, well, there's my sign. So that kind of changed things there as well. So, you know,
and then the book.
So another thing that happened was we came up here, and Tristan's friend was talking about how her life has changed since that day that I told her that, and how she has been reading this book, and this book has really helped her work through some of her issues in her life. You know, she's in college and things happen. She goes, I've been reading this book called The 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do. And I go, what? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I've been reading it. And she goes, it has really helped me. Happens to be, I'm reading the same book. So I went and I got my book. I go, look what I got right here. 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do. Yeah, pretty amazing, right? So
So if those aren't signs, I don't know what else.
I mean,
we don't need anything else as our family.
How many books are there in the world? You know, how many books are there? And the chance that she starts talking about this book that I'm also reading.
Amazing.
So there is a God.